Okay, well, good morning, everyone. Welcome to this morning Zoom, which we do not usually do, but this morning I was up as I am every morning at 6 a.m. on the copy and paste Tea Party movement Zoom. So we do that Zooms like 7 days a week for 90 days. Big commitment, but when you have big goals, hey, you make big commitments to your future. And so today, afterwards, I saw some of you all talking in our chat group. I love our team starts like at 5:30 in the morning. You guys start saying hello to one another. I'm like, ooh, okay, that's pretty powerful. You know, people who are successful wake up and get their day started early, so that's great. And so I was just really feeling inspired. So I said, hey, I'm up. Let me just make a platform here to share some things with the team. I actually don't have anything planned. I'm actually going to just talk from my heart. And this morning, really want to focus talking about like work ethic, like getting off of your butt and actually doing something, and then making sure what you are doing is the right actions to do, because you can go from stewing to doing, but then you can be doing the wrong things, or you can be doing some of the right things in front of the wrong audience and still not get results. So I want to talk to you this morning about really making some things happen. And so there's I don't know if it's a slogan from the Bible or whatever. It says, "To thine own self be true." To thine own self be true. And when I relate that to the business, what I think about is I need you all to truly do a self-assessment and say, are the actions that you're taking like congruent with what you say that you want? And you've heard me say that before, but if the answer is no, you got to start today to do whatever it is that you need to do to put yourself in that place and position of taking the actions that are going to lead to your desired outcome. So that means those of you who've been in the industry and you know there's no way getting around talking to people. You got as the president is flying they did yesterday because quality conversations.
Breaking up.
Quality conversations.
In the background needs to mute out the TV.
Okay. And I'm gonna try to hey, Roxanne, can you hear me okay, or am I breaking up for you too?
Any sense from the Pentagon?
Roxanne. Okay, Randy said I'm breaking up. Hold on, I'm
breaking up for me.
I'm gonna switch to this. Let me just switch to my cell phone.
Middle East for these withdrawing troops from various regions. Well, I think the action.
Okay.
Can you mute everybody too, because their TVs are on? Okay.
Okay, so you should be able to hear me now. Danita, can you hear me?
Yes, ma'am, I can.
Okay, wonderful. All right. So what I was saying, I was talking about to thine own self be true. And I was saying that you really got to step up and push up against any barriers or any fears, any resistance. A lot of that we're creating in our mind anyway. And you got to start doing the work. If you've been here for several weeks, some people have been here longer than that. You know the bottom line. If you're not savvy in network marketing, you know that you ought to be talking to people. You know you need to be having quality conversations with people. You know that your job is to sort and sift to find the right people for whom the business is for. And the only, like, people just don't drop out of the sky. Now, when you're consistently marketing, there are ways to attract people to you, but you have got to find ways. If you're not a savvy marketer yet in attracting people to you, and you're still in that learning stage, you've got to find ways of connecting with people and sorting and sifting through the numbers to find people for whom this is the right thing for them to be doing. And when you go to the site that Randy has, the 90 Days to Millionaire, and you hear Dan talking, Dan is telling us the best people, the best pool to fish in would be entrepreneurs, people who are already network marketers who have been in the network marketing space in the past. Now, everybody, I mean, there are people who are unborn yet who will be in network marketing at one time or another. So there are people who aren't in the industry who will come into the industry. But to build fast and to build strong, the best market of people would be people who have been in the industry, feel good and positive about it, and who are experienced. Now, that's the best market of people. That's not the only market of people, but at least I want you all to understand, even if you don't do all the right things, you need to understand what you should be doing. So that is the pool. But then there are going to be people that you connect with who may be your church members and may be your co-workers or maybe your family members, and they're not necessarily, maybe they're not going to do the business, but they'll still add to volume maybe because of the purchases that they'll make. So you've got to just like basically open your mouth consistently and make the offering. And you got to teach your team to do the same thing. Most people, when they join a network marketing business, that's the last thing that they do, and they join. And then they don't do anything else. But you have to get yourself and hopefully your team, your people are motivated so that as soon as you join, you got to start reaching out to people. One of the easiest things to do, and I have this on one of the training videos, is to start with your warm market list and ask people to do you a favor and try your product. That is such an easy thing to do. And everybody on this line has, I'm sure you have at least 100 people in your phone. Some of you probably have 500 people in your phone. So even though people say, oh, well, you know, I'm in the NFL club, no friends and family left. I don't have anybody to talk to. I've been through my friends and family in my other businesses before, and I don't want to talk to them. Well, you need some people to talk to. So you need to get over yourself. And you need to start with a list of people, and you need to start practicing, okay? If your list sucks, if you believe this isn't a good list, then until you develop and cultivate a better list, because in this whole process, we are cultivating a list and adding new people to our list, you need people to practice on. Right now, you may suck at what you do. You're not very good at making connections, but the only way you will get better is to continue to reach out and practice on people. So don't get emotionally involved in whether they say yes or whether they say no. Who cares? You need to get better. So you need to learn to pick up the phone and say, hey, Joe, this is Hannah. How are you? Joe, all I need is just 3 quick minutes of your time. You know, and you tell the story, guys. I'm really excited because just recently I recommitted to my home-based business. And I feel very strongly about this because I have a product that's really helping people to be healthy, and wellness is my passion. Don't worry, I'm not calling to get you to sign up in anything, but let me tell you why I'm calling. I'm calling because I am asking my friends to do me a favor and become my customer and just try out the product. Again, I repeat, I'm not asking you to look at the business or try to sign up in anything, but I just need to get 20 customers over the next 30 days. And so I was calling to ask you, if I sent you a video on the product, could you take 3 minutes and look at it? And if you like the benefits of it, try it out and become my customer. Can you do me a favor and do that? So literally, you're just calling people and you're asking them to be your customer. Like, you're coming out and you're telling the story. I'm excited. This is new. I believe in this. Can you help me out? And then a conversation will start. Well, okay, well, what is it? Well, how much does it cost? So they'll start asking you the questions. Well, you know what? I got this 3-minute call. If you got 3 minutes right now, let me just let you I'm a three-way you into this so you can just hear in a quick 3 minutes what it's about. And then you three-way them into maybe the weight loss call that Sherry did and have them to listen right then and there for 3 minutes. At the very least, you can sell a pack of tea for $20. Like, between $20 and $50 is something that people really don't have to think about. So you can say, if they ask questions, well, you can get a whole month supply for only $50. If they don't have $50, say, well, you know what? Could you try it out just for $20? There's a $20 package. You could lose 5 pounds just in that 1 week supply of tea. So what I just kind of role play for you is this: getting into action, practicing, asking people to be your customer, 3-waying people into the sizzle call line, asking for the sale, and getting them to make their decision. You collecting the decision. But you got to get into action doing these things to learn to grow your skill set and to get better at what you're doing. And so as you get started and as you get your team started doing this, it's like, so more activity will start and more opportunities for learning experiences will come up, because people in these conversations will ask you questions that maybe you don't know the answer to. That's when you get them on the phone with me so you can get their question answered. That's when you that's how you learn, is from the three-way calls. Okay, you learn from the 3-way calls. Hold on 1 second, guys. Okay, so you learn from the putting yourself in position to learn. Like, there's no way I can just sit on a call and tell you all the different questions people will have and train you on everything. This is training and learning by doing. You got to get into it. You got to get in the mode of having these conversations and connecting with people and seeing what people say and seeing their having them to come up with objections and us overcoming the objections. That's how you learn and get better. You got to get in the trenches. You got to go to work. You got to be in the foxhole. You got to get muddy and dirty and get messed up and get people to tell you no and get rejection and learn that you're not going to die. It's okay. It's okay to get 20 no's a day. It's like really okay, because in that you'll get yeses. So I want you all to, hey, and Rich just joined us. So I want you all to, number one, you got to be a do it first leader. Like, you can't expect your team to do anything that you're not doing. And everybody's volume would be growing more if everybody was just making more connections. You got to make more connections. I can't promise you you'd be at $10,000 a month. I can't promise you what your income will be, but I promise you, if you talk to more people, you would have more volume. You would have more money in your e-wallet, because more people would say yes. This tea has sold $1 billion worth of tea, has done $1 billion in revenue. Somebody wants it. Only reason you don't have money in your e-wallet is because you're not asking enough people to make the decision to purchase. $1 billion of this tea has been sold. People want it. If you're not selling it, you're not getting it out there in front of people, because this tea sells. And so do the other products. So you got to teach your team to do these things. So there's only a few of us on here this morning. So now you got to take this information back. So I said, first, you got to be a do-it-first leader. So you got to get out front and you got to start doing, you got to start connecting, and you got to every day be sorting and sifting. Like, you know, I grew up in a network marketing household, and I'm still in a network marketing household. Every day, there are people calling my house, calling my mother, having conversations, and my mother's calling people for things she's doing to recruit them. They're not hiding behind posts. Do we make posts? Yes, but they're not hiding behind posts. Network marketers pick up the doggone phone because they are intentional in building their business. They are excited about what they have, and they're looking for other leaders to recruit. They are intentional about recruiting. They are calling Jerry Stewart. They are calling Boomy Moore. They're calling Daryl Keck. They're calling everybody out there in the marketplace on their list and saying, hey, Jerry, oh, man, I'm glad I caught you. Man, I found something that you got to hear about. Have you heard about XYZ thing yet? Man, this thing is hot. They got this product that has the stem cell research like nothing you've seen before. They promote their thing, hit it and quit it real quick and say, you got to take a look at this. Look, let me send you some information on this. I mean, literally, that's what happens in the network marketing world, and you're trying to like overcomplicate this. They literally have a list of numbers, have people that they want to go after, and they pick up the phone and they reach the people and they promote what they have. They're not throwing all up on them, but they're piquing that interest enough to make the person say, okay, that sounds good. You send me over that information, I'll take a look. So that's where the conversation starts, okay? That's where the conversation starts. It's not where you're trying to get that person to sign up right now. It's like you're putting the information in front of them. You're saying some things that pique their interest, and you're looking for people who are open to looking. Then you may send them an email. Then you may tell them about the call that's coming up. Then you may say, well, listen, let's listen to the sizzle call. There's all kinds of ways to expose, but you got to get them in your pipeline. I think some of you and some of your team members are just waiting for people to fall into the pipeline. You got to be aggressive in getting people into your pipeline. And so, yes, there's an online marketing world where you can post out and get people into your funnel, but most of y'all on this line don't know nothing about building funnels, and you don't have a funnel. Yes, there's an online marketing world where you can make posts and drive people to you to ask you about your product or service. That's easier to do, but still, a lot of you posting, you're not getting much engagement because you haven't been being consistent, and you're not promoting to the right audience, and you're being salesy online instead of giving value, and you're not giving it enough time, and you're not attracting people to you. So you've got to understand that with this being a business, there's some things you got to learn, and then there's some things you got to do. But as we've been talking about with Dan, you got to be consistent in doing it. So if you're taking quick notes, and then I'm going to open it up. In everything, you got to be consistent. If you're bad at what you do, you don't wait till you get good to start. You start and you do it bad, and you do it bad long enough till you get good. And then you do it good long enough until you get great. But you got to start doing it. You may not know effectively how to market online, but you at least do the minimal things that we tell you to do. We tell you to copy people who are posting online, and we tell you to copy the post that you see us putting out. We told you to connect with the right kind of people online. You're building and growing an audience. So your whole job is to magnetize people to you, and you don't magnetize them to you by always trying to sell something. You attract people to you by giving them value where they are inspired by their page, by your page, where they are uplifted by your page, where they're given some great tips from your page that makes them want to connect with you and keeps them coming back. And sprinkled in that in time then would be some things that may drive them to action towards the business or the product. But you got to learn how to give value. Then you got to learn in time. It would be good if you learned, and you don't have to feel overwhelmed about this now, how to run a Facebook ad so that you can reach people who are not a part of your audience yet, but you can pay and target certain groups of people in certain areas. That's something that you can learn in time. But right now, I promise you, if we just went back old school, like you can build a network marketing business old school in it just with your phone, getting over yourself, and instead of saying I don't have any friends and family left, realizing that you got a product that clears out arteries, that helps people, can prevent people from having heart attacks, that people can lose weight on, that people can get off of their diabetes medication with. You just got to open your mouth and tell people that, because there's millions of people who are suffering diabetes, heart disease, high blood pressure, and obesity, and you have something for that, but they don't know because you're not opening your mouth and telling them. And there's enough people out here who want an opportunity where even if there were not the internet, you could sort and sift to find two right people who would want to partner with you to change their life. But you got to be sorting and sifting. You got to be inspiring people. You got to be making the connections. You got to be making the offering. You got to be collecting the decisions. And most of you all aren't doing this on a daily basis, or you're not getting your team to do this on a daily basis. But again, don't ask your team to do anything that you're not doing. You got to do it first. And then before I unmute the call, the other thing that you have to do is you've got to show your difference. So I learned before the internet, 98 or something, early 2000s, from his network marketing awesome gentleman who I used to go participate in his training. Before we even had the internet, he said, you've got to play the game in front of the fans. You've heard me say this, you got to play the game in front of the fans. Back then, that meant we had to pick up the phone and just call people and let them know what was going on with our team. Aunt Susie, you know I'm not calling because I know you'll never do the business, but our team was #1 this month. You know, I almost reached my goal this month. I was just 3 away from my goal this month. Our team is having this event this month. We're doing really great. So you had to physically call people and let them know what was going on to play the game in front of them. But now with social media, it's easier to play the game in front of people. So like posting what happened in Greensboro is showing the game, right? It's telling people, it's showing what you're doing, it's showing movement, it's showing your dedication, it's showing a winning team. You've got to play this game in front of the fans. So when it's like when we post out about what's going on in Africa, you may not have no skin in the game in Africa yet, but that's part of your team. And when you show that those wins, people don't know you don't have anything to do with that. You say, this is what my team is doing. And you show your winning team. But you got to show the success long enough for people to see that you got to be consistent with it. And in time, people will say, man, she's diligent in her business. She's consistent about her business. Her team is winning. She's connected to winners. Oh, you know what? I do need something extra. Let me call Jonetta. Let me call Roxanne. Let me see. Let me inbox her. Because you validated yourself in the marketplace by being consistent and playing the game in front of the fans. So these are just some of the things that I wanted to share with you this morning, because everybody on this line, including myself, your volume should be higher, and you're not where you want to be, and your e-wallet should be bigger. And reps don't fall out the sky, distributors don't fall out of the sky, money doesn't fall out of the sky. You got to go get it. You got to go after it. You got to magnetize it to you as you're moving towards it. So I'm going to unmute the call. No, I'm going to let you all unmute yourselves independently. For any questions, comments, or feedback. But literally, like, you got to get out of getting to get ready mode. I'm tired of people saying, I'm getting ready. I'm getting over this. Look, just do it. That's what Nike says. Just do it. Pick up the phone and make the calls today. Just make a decision that you're connecting with 5 people, because maybe you haven't connected with 5 people all week. You're connecting with 5 people today. Okay. I'm turning it over to you. Any questions, comments, or feedback?
Boomy, it's Roxanne.
Go ahead, Roxanne.
Is it okay to reach out to you if we get If I get stuck at a given moment and I'm thinking, oh my goodness, what can I be doing right now? I need something to do. I can't remember what to do or what's the best thing for me to do at this particular time. It might be a nook and cranny that I need to fill, and I'm like stuck at which direction I should go. I remember feeling that way either last night and the night before last, and thinking, okay, I still have a little bit of time, but what is the best activity for me to be doing right now?
All right, let me
Is
give
it
you some
okay to call
ideas.
and ask?
Let me
Okay.
give you some ideas right now. So get out a piece of paper and a pen, and I want you all to write these things down. So she's asking a valid question, but the truth is, if you've been on the calls and you've taken notes, you should have a notebook full of things to do. So I'm gonna give you all some tips. There are people online who sell, hold on. There are people online who sell like social media trackers, social media like activity trackers. You probably can get some for free if you Google it, where you get a calendar and every day they tell you what are some good things to be doing on social media. So you can just rattle off right now. Like, why is this? Can you get out your phone, Roxanne?
Okay. Mm-hmm.
Okay. So literally, if you're looking for, okay, well, what should I be doing right now? I'm gonna list off some things. You make a quick call to your prospect list. That's the very best thing that anybody ever can do. Network marketers are always looking to have conversations. So at any given time, you got 5 minutes, make a phone call. If that's the only thing I gave you on the list, that's all you would do. In the 50s, in the 60s, in the 70s, building network marketing. In the 80s, building network marketing. In the early 90s, building network marketing. It was nothing to do like make a video. It was nothing to do like make a post. It was basically only make a phone call or go out into the mall and get out and find a prospect. That was the only thing to do. So my point is that is still what you do. Oh man, I got 10 minutes. What should I do? Call somebody on your list, okay? So you should know that. The next thing is make a video. If you have time, Hannah's, I'm talking about her. If you got time, you can make a video, but don't hide behind. It's like you want to make your videos and post them out, particularly on YouTube and Facebook too. So you want to do that. You want to put out an inspirational post. You want to call a person and do some follow-up. You can call customers and get them to reorder. You can call a customer and get them to write up a testimony for you. You can post out your own testimony. You can post out a video testimony. You can post out a testimony of somebody else on the team. You can call somebody on the team and say, hey, let's do a Facebook Live together. You can do your own Facebook Live. You can post out an affirmation. You can call some team members. Now, you don't want to get in management mode, but if you have a team, call a team member and check on them and see how many people they've talked to today. So I've just given about 5 things to do, but in network marketing is all about having quality conversations, reaching out to people, sorting and sifting and getting people to take a look at what you have. They're either looking at it on the customer side, or they're looking at it potentially on the business side. But we overcomplicate this thing. It's just about talking to people and getting them to take a look at something. That's all it's about. What is the business about? Making connections with people, however you do it, online or offline, making connections with people and asking them to take a look at either the business or the product, okay? And there's many ways to do that, but I just named for you a plethora of things that you could be doing in your time to market, promote, and expand. All right, tea parties. You should be having tea parties yourself. You should be having your team to have tea parties. You should be inviting to the next event. You can be expanding your list. I mean, there's all, and I'm not getting on you, Roxanne. I'm just naming all the things that there is to do. So there never should be a time where you can't feel like, what should I be doing? Make up this list. Like all the things I just named, put it on a list somewhere and put it up. So if you're ever like, because sometimes you get to like, wait a minute, okay, I just am wasting my time. What should I be doing right now? Go look on that list and pick something and do it. Does that make sense? All right.
Yes, it makes a lot of sense. I have a statement. When I follow everything that you do, I tend to get results. Like when you post, I post. When you go live, I go live. When you tell a story or whatever about your day, I do the same. And that seems to have been working and keeping my social media tracker on point, and then going back and telling my team to do the same thing. My transition now, which is basically a question, now that I have all of these people that had opted into the Greensboro's flyers, I'm going to go back and follow up with them, because they do have some of the information when it comes down to the business, but they don't have like a video, a testimony or something like that. Because I know I sent them the website when they said they wanted more information. Youranswerishere.com.
Mm-hmm.
Now, after they have watched that, I asked them, what did you like best about the presentation, the 3-minute presentation? And so I can't get them to respond back to me. What can I do?
Are these people that you've had conversations with, or this are just online texting back and forth?
These are people I've literally wrote down their name and called them on Facebook Messenger, face to face.
So you've talked to them in order to give them your answers here.
Yes.
Okay. So one of the things that you can do to get in touch with these people is there's something that you can do on the front end. Okay. So I'm going to teach you something to do on the front end to say. What works for me, Danita, is to tell them what the next step is going to be. Okay. So I may say something like, so Danita, I'm going to send you this link. It's a 15-minute video. So I want you to watch it, and it's short enough. So if you need to watch it twice, you can. Now, after you watch it, what I want you to do, I want you to give me a call back. But if I haven't heard from you by Friday at 2:00 or by, this evening at 7, I'm going to call you. And I need you to do me a favor. So listen to this, Danita. I need you to do me this favor.
I'm writing down what you're saying.
Okay. Whether you loved it, hated it, or felt indifferent about it, I want you to do me a favor and pick up the phone when I call to give me your honest feedback. I promise you, if you say, oh, Boomy, I didn't like it, didn't like the products, didn't like what I heard, didn't like you, it's okay. I just want you to pick up the phone and just give me your honest feedback and just tell me that, okay? Because sometimes I get into this dilemma, because what sometimes people do, they'll look at something they're not interested, then I call them back and they hide and don't want to pick up the phone because they don't want to tell me no. But I'm just asking you if you would give me that courtesy and make sure that you pick up the phone to give me your honest feedback. Can you commit to doing that for me? Oh, yeah, I can commit. Then I ask again, is that a promise? Oh, yes, a promise. So when I call you this evening, you going to pick up the phone, right? Yes. Okay, so I've already done all that work on the front end. And so what have they just learned from that conversation? I told them I'm going to be calling them back, even if they don't call me back. I told them, I peeped their whole call. I already told them. I've been in this thing a long time. I already tell you what happens is people try to not answer the phone. So you don't have to do that. You don't got to hide, because I already told you people do that. So now don't do it. Just give me your honest feedback. And that tends to make people actually pick up, oh yeah, she said I wouldn't be answering. Let me go ahead and answer this phone and just tell her, no, I'm not interested, or whatever it may be. So when you address that on the front end, it gives you better results on the back end.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yes.
Because you can't make a person pick up the phone. And a lot of times people they're scared of saying no to you. Just like people are scared of rejection or hearing no, they're scared of saying no, so they would rather hide and not pick it up than to say, oh no, I'm not interested. Now, sometimes the reason why they haven't picked it up is because they haven't even watched it like they said they would.
True.
You can address that on the front end too. You can say, now let me tell you what also happens. Sometimes, I know you said you're going to watch it right now. I believe you. But in life, people get real busy. The child may come and all of a sudden you thought you were going to watch it and you didn't. So if something happens and you don't get to watch it, you haven't watched it, be honest and upfront with me and let me know that too. Okay? So you can even address that. But that's why we don't want to leave it open-ended. I like to ask people, can you watch it right now? It's 15 minutes, so it's 7 o'clock. If you can watch it right now, that means you'll be done by 7:15. And then it's okay, I'm going to call you at 7:20, okay? And then when you say that, they may say, oh, well, you know what? I forgot I'm making dinner. I got to take my kid here or there. Oh, well, let's wait till tomorrow. And that's fine. At least y'all talked about it. But the goal is to get them to watch it right now. Because if you just send people information, and you say, yeah, check it out. Check it out in 2 months. Check it out in 2 weeks. Check it out when. So you got to learn to get good at pinning them down. And then doing everything I said on the front end to increase your chances of them actually looking at it and then picking up the phone.
All right. Thank you.
All right. Next person. We all done?
Boomy,
Hey, who's that?
this Frank.
Hey, what's up, my friend?
How you doing?
Great.
This good information, and also I went online and I pulled down the documentation for doing my take the challenge. So I'm doing that, and I ordered my scale and my Fitbit, so that should be coming soon. So once I do that, they automatically gonna sign me to a team.
So the team challenge, the team part started September the 27th.
Oh,
and that runs for 90 days. But I'm gonna see if people can join the team, join one of the color teams as we go along now, or if they have to wait till the next time it starts. So I know a person can start the challenge on any day. But as far as being on one of the teams, I want to see how that works. But you can still, start the challenge.
Okay. All right. Sounds good.
Okay. Now, Frank is one that's been pretty consistent in calling me each day, and he's not calling just to chit chat. Frank is either calling me with somebody on the line, or he's calling me to ask a question that is beneficial to his recruiting or selling efforts or his business building efforts. So he's not calling to chat. He ain't calling to complain. He calling to tell me something that's about moving his business forward or to put me on the phone with somebody. All right. So those are the kind of conversations you want to have when you call me. The first thing you want to call me is for a 3-way. Then is maybe a question that you need to know the answer to. Yesterday, Donita did a 3-way with me. So, and then make sure when you do these 3-ways and we take time to talk to people, you got to do follow-up good. Just get over the fact that people don't call you back. Don't even say to me, so-and-so hasn't called me back. Yeah, I got people on a Tuesday call, but they didn't call me back. They're not going to call you back. Even if they like it, most times they're not going to call you back. You'll have 1 in 20 who may call you back, even if they like it. Just as something about people, they're in this comatose state of stuckness sometimes, or life is so busy. Oh yeah, I gotta call Roxanne. I gotta call Donita. Oh yeah, and they forget. We forget. This is your business. You've got to take the bull by the horns and call them back. When you get to $20,000, $30,000 a month, maybe you have the luxury of not calling people back. Right now, you got to call them back. And don't think that they're going to call you back, and don't wait for them to call you back. And you let them know that you're going to call them back. When people say to me, especially early when people say, oh, well, I'll get back to you. I tell them, I say, well, typically when people say I get back to you, that's their intention. But because life is so busy, they rarely do. So if I don't hear from you by Thursday, is it okay for me to give you a call back? So I tell them I like to be, I'm a very diligent business builder. So I always am really good on my follow-up game. So, if I don't hear from you by tomorrow, I'll give you a follow-up call as well. Is that fair enough? Okay, great. So, and teach your team, because I'm really good. I mean, I don't hear it a whole lot, but when I hear it, I'm like, don't y'all know? People just don't call back. Like, people will sit there on a Tuesday night call and like it and not call you back. And then you talk to them 2 weeks later, oh, yeah, I've been meaning to get with you. I like that call. But then it's 2 weeks later, they forget what they was excited about. Now you got to start all over again or put them in front of the information. So teach your team to be aggressive. Aggressively get your money. Aggressively go after what you want, and you call the people back and call them back quickly. Like, you get them on Tuesday night, call them on Tuesday night. But you should already have told them that you're going to call them right after the call. Don't be thinking, oh, what if it's too late? You should have already established that you're going to call them after the call. And if it's too late, they should have already told you, oh, you know what? 9:30 is too late. Can you wait till the next day? Anybody else?
Hello?
Yes?
Can you hear me? Okay. This is Elizabeth. I wanted to say that I have personally wasted so much time trying to focus and learn what everybody else is doing online. Okay. And the things that you're talking about right now, call people, follow up. These are things face to face, take charge. These are take charge actions that have brought me success in the past. But when I got involved with this company, everybody's online. So I'm thinking, okay, I got to do what everybody else is doing online. Okay, so now I find that when you don't follow up and you're waiting for people to call you back, you're putting them in charge and you're putting them in control. When you take charge, I'm going to call you back regardless. Okay, and I said, I have to get back into my mindset of what I was doing before, because that's what you're talking about now. Like, people are good on the internet. Okay, I admit that I'm not. Okay, but I don't have any problem calling. I don't have any problem with face-to-face. I will call you back. If you don't call me back, I'm calling you back. So I'm taking charge. And you have given me a boost, a kick in the rear, a push, or whatever. And I'm like, I got all these people sitting over here, and people, people from the past, people I've done business from in the past. And then because I didn't know the internet and what everybody's doing, then those people that I've already done business with, they become, to me, I'm looking at them as a chicken list, scared to do anything because I didn't know the internet. So I thank you so much for Boomy, everything you do. I thank you for this call. I thank you for the kick in the rear, because I know me. I'm a beast. I will call you back. I'm not waiting for you, And just like people, they go hide. Okay, I'm going to call you back. They don't answer the phone. Oh, I'm going to call you back till I get you. So thank you anyway for this call. This just really did huge things for me today. And anyway, if you gotta restart, make an adjustment, do whatever. And sometimes when you do what everybody else is doing, that might work for them. It may not work for you. You may have a strong area in another area. You may be strong you may be strong in face to face. Just talking to somebody. I'm strong in that area than the internet, and they can't even see my face.
Right. And
That's a scary thing to me, but only because I didn't learn, I didn't know, we didn't have that back then. So thank you anyway, and I'm getting out there.
all right, I love it. I love it. There's more than one way to skin a cat, guys. So just because everybody's online doesn't mean that you have to be. It may be a good thing to do, but this is what I taught people from the beginning. For most people, online is a learning curve. And if you wait till you learn, you're delaying your money. So even if you're learning on the side over there, you got to start with the people in your phone. Phone is still king. The reason, as I tell you, I'm in a network marketing household. Our phone ring, it's not that we get a lot of emails from people that we know trying to recruit us, is we get a lot of phone calls. It's like people are always calling and connecting voice to voice and having conversations. And what they do is they try to infuse their enthusiasm into us, into you. That's what you're doing. You're excited but not hyped. You've got some concrete things that made you want to look at this thing. There's some reasons that you are excited, that you planted your flag, some success stories that you share. Man, if you open, you need to check this Laura Life thing out. This is a rising star. They pay every week. They got these easy car bonuses to get money in people's pockets fast. They get this product that's clearing out people's arteries. It's got all these minerals. They got oxygen. So you promote real quick what excites you. You share a couple testimonies and just see if they're open to take a look. You got to learn how to work the phones. If you never got on the internet, there's enough people out here who offline for you to find two people and for you to find a whole bunch of customers. Oh my gosh. There's lots of people, high blood pressure, diabetes, low energy, MS, lupus, cancer. Everybody needs our product. You just got to open your mouth and tell them about it and make the offering, get the information in front of them. Every single person who has cells needs O2 drops. Every single person who has a heart needs the Thrive. Everybody needs to detox. So, not everybody's going to say yes, but you got to tell them about it. Let them see the videos and give yourself a chance to win and make money by putting all these people in your pipeline. All right, 5 more minutes. Who else? Anybody else before we go?
Hi, Boomy.
Hey, Janetta.
Hey, first of all, I just want to thank you for all the wonderful tips that you've given. And my thing is, I have more Facebook friends where I could reach out to, but the thing is, the people that I have, these are people that I have not spoken to for many, many years with just Facebook friends. And I want to know what is the most effective way where I can actually reach out to them through, say, Messenger or Facebook. How can I reach out to them and piquing their interest for the business or to be a customer? And these are people I don't have their numbers to.
I'm sorry, there are people that you do or don't have their numbers?
I don't have their numbers to.
Okay. And are these people that you know from Facebook, or like from high school, or you just know them from Facebook?
Yeah, people from like way back high school, friends from back in the days. I'm talking 20 plus years.
I got you. So remember, this is a relationship business. Okay, it's all about relationships. Okay. And when you're relating to people that you have not talked to in a long time, you better not make it about the business. You better not make it about your product, okay? So you've got to intentionally get back in connection with them and massage the relationship. That's where you form them. That's where you get back and talk about family. occupation, like at your job, what you've been doing all these years, recreation, the kind of fun things you've been doing, what you've been up to, you've been traveling, whatever, we're catching back up. The M is money. You save that for last, but you don't reach out to somebody who you haven't talked to in 20 years and be like, oh, girl, I got to tell you about this business. I got to tell you about No, you will run them away.
Okay.
You may do something like, let's say if you have a campaign where you say, I'm going to reach out to 25 people this week I haven't talked to in a long time. You say, Shirley, I'm hitting you up because I've just realized I've got a lot of Facebook friends from back in the day who I don't even connect with, and I wanted to at least connect with 25 of our friends from back in the 80s just to see what everybody's been up to. So that's the reason from this message. How have you been doing? Like, you literally care about people. So this takes time, but you're building a relationship again. So now that you're just like, hey, girl, what's up? Remember that party we used to go to? Remember we used to meet down the grill on the campus or whatever? Hey, have you talked to anybody from back in the day? That's like making them feel good. That is making them bring back really good memories. And now, if you have been consistent in your messaging online, they will probably go and say, oh, let me see what she's doing. And then they'll see what you're doing without you having to tell them, because as they look through your wall, they see you're posting affirmations. They see you posting things of value. They see you're posting health tips. They see you are posting about something about entrepreneurship. And so they get an idea of what you're doing without you having to actually come out and tell them. Now, once you have re-engaged with them, you talk to them on Messenger, you're talking again, you go to their wall and engage with them. You got to start liking their posts, commenting on their posts. Facebook is all about engagement, and it can't be one way. So you got to go and be interactive with them so they'll show you some love back, okay?
Okay.
So
Great.
that's very important. And so in time, you see you're cultivating that relationship, and you will get them in time. Oh, girl, I see you. What's that product I see you talking about on your wall? Okay?
Okay.
So that's how you start. Don't make it anything about the business.
Awesome. I will definitely do that. Thank you.
All right, you're welcome. All righty. Well, if all hearts and minds are clear, we can exit. I think we got a lot of value out of this morning. Thank you for all your questions, comments, and feedback. Remember, it's all about application. So now we just gotta apply this. Elizabeth said, thank you for this time. You are welcome. You guys have an awesome day. Thank you, Amanda, who came on from work. Hello, Enrich. Good to see that leader plugging in. And I will talk to you all later. I'll be available for 3 ways. Roxanne, were you saying something?
No, that was Enrich. Hey, thank you for this. I appreciate everything that you've offered. I know everyone's about to leave, and I apologize for jumping in at the tail end moment. But I want to share something real quick with your organization here, our organization, your group. And that is the old school form, family, occupation, recreation, money. When we're talking to people we haven't spoken to in a long time, when you're just meeting them, one of the best icebreakers is that acronym there. When you see them with the kids and grandkids, you bring up the conversation. People you haven't seen since high school or college years. Hey, what are you doing now? As far as occupation, or hey, when was the last time you took a cruise? Or you talk about your 401ks and how the economy is now affecting your 401k balance. This is a great way to break the ice with people. Now, if you're connecting with friends on Facebook who are real friends, I mean, those who know you from the back in the day before you had underarm hair and whatever else, right? When you was riding a bicycle, when you learned to get your car license, those that you went out to for the prom, those you went out to when you graduated from college, those who you had invited to your wedding or your divorce party, whatever it is, I strongly suggest, ladies and gentlemen, is having a separate profile page from the one that you currently have. The reason I say that is because you're starting organically with these persons that you haven't spoken to in 25, 30, 40, 50 years, depending upon your age. Immediately, if they go to your profile page that you currently have, they'll be, oh, she's into one of them things, or he's into one of them things. So when you're reaching out to me, this is what I do, is I reach out organically with a fresh Facebook page with people I went to school with, or I grew up with, or served in the military with. And then I will go ahead and use the word, I'm going to sprinkle, drip every now and then something about, wow, man, I'm glad I dropped these 5 pounds from drinking this tea. And the next thing you know, what tea? Wow, I'm sure my man Randy over here out there in Utah, wherever Randy lives, just beat his, getting his bypass from drinking this organic drink he told me about. I got to get some. And that's not, you're procuring interest. So I just want to share that, Boomy, at the tail end. Thank you, everyone, for allowing me to share. This is Enrich. Take care.
Thank you. We love it when our leaders add value for the good of the team. That's some great value. Y'all, old school still works. You need to pull out the old school marketing book because it's not going nowhere. New stuff may come on board, but old school still works. And that form is definitely a skill you need to utilize. Thank you for that, Enrich. All right, guys. Well, this meeting is officially over. You all have a great day. We'll see you in the chat group and in the regular group and on the phone. See you,
All right, have
Hannah.
a good one, guys.
All right, see
Thank you,
ya.
guys.
Bye-bye.